Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Vinobihari Mandir, Sri Gopinath Bhavan, Sri Vrindavan Dham.
We're having weather today.
Lots of weather today. Very heavy rainstorm.
So please forgive us as usual if there's any problem with the internet. We'll try to take care of it. Dandava Pranam Gopal Ji, Devaki Didi, Radhe Radhe Punya.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. Shri Radha Vinobihari Ju ki jai. Radha Ramana Ju ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, Vandeham, Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamanam, D-A-N-D-E-H-A-M.
Dandavat Pranam Vaisnava.
Dandavat Pranam. So Subhadra made a new outfit for Thakurji, so you'll all have to wait for darshan, close darshan at the end. Very amazing shringar she did.
Krishna
जीवदुःखे सनरकाय श्रीराम प्रेमदायिने नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभारती देवी दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दयिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमभ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरा करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये विनतारिणे रूपानुगम्योद्भातो सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे पदं पूजायते नमः ॐ भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगमनायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो पङ्गो मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वत्परं भोज राधामदनमोहनम् यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदं श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीराधा श्रीरघुवृन्ददेवं प्रेष्ठानि सेव्यमानुस्मरामि श्रीमन्त्रसरसारम्भे वंशिमन्तततस्थितः हर्षं मे स्वनरोपि गोपीनाथश्रीस्तुनः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सकलवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् Suchandra Nivane Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur, page 40.
Starts with K-R-P-A-K-A-R-O. Kripa Karo Vaishnava.
Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. Same tune.
Kripa Karo Vaishnava.
Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. Kripa Karo Vaishnava. Oh, Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. Kripa Karo Vaishnava. Sambandha janiya bhajite bhajite abhimano bhava. Oh, Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. Amito Vaishnava Devuti Gurudeva Amariya Toyami. Krishna Soyashi Hridayo Dushime Hori Bolirayo Nami. Krishna Soyashi Hori Bolirayo Nami. Bolirayo Nami. Tomaro Tinduro Apone Janigo Guru Yogi Mano Tyaji.
Bhagavatamrita
Not yet. Because?
Isn't that for any time? That's must be good. Which one?
Shumiyachi sadhu, okay?
Page 51, Suniyachi Sadhuki. It starts S-U-N-I-Y-A-C-H-I. Suniyachi. Suniyachi.
Sudevi. Nitai Gunamani Amar, page 61. I was thinking about that earlier.
Sarvasvatomar, page
Charane
2.
Sampya, Korechi Tamara Hare.
Page 205. Page 205. Before you sing it, I know that you've explained it before, but can you tell what Gurudev said is one of the most important qualities in a disciple and what this bhajan means to us?
What page is that again?
205.
So Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he explained one of the most important qualities, if perhaps not the most important quality in a disciple, is loyalty. Loyalty means, I belong to you, I am yours, you are my master and I am like your dog. And a dog is given as an example here by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur to show us how to be loyal. That I will only accept what you give me. I will not accept other masters. You are my master. It doesn't mean that one should not accept Shiksha Guru. It means that one should only accept that same substance, that same kind of substance. Anyone who is friendly to you, I will also be friendly to them. Anyone who is against you, who's going against you or who's creating harm, who's coming toward you, I will bark very loudly and I will defend you. Whenever I see you, I will dance with joy and I will circumambulate you. I will sleep at your feet and I will be ready at any moment for doing whatever you ask me to do. My bhojan, my foodstuff, will be the remnants of your foodstuff. I will not eat here and there, taking so many different things of this world, but I will accept your prasadam. This is loyalty. There's so many different aspects mentioned here. Whenever you call, I will come to you dancing in joy. I remain within your house as your servant. You are my master and I am like your dog. And in this connection, Srila Gurudev, he once gave an example that even a very small dog, if he's with his master, he feels very powerful. He knows, my master, he is very powerful. He has so many big guns, no one will mess with him. So if I'm with my master, then I am safe. Even any other big dog comes, I will bark very loudly. Even if you're a small dog, no worries. But if you're loyal to your master, then he will protect you. He is my protector, he is my maintainer. I don't need to worry about that. How I maintain. If I am serving my master, I don't need to think about that. If I'm independent, then I will always be worried. I will always be searching. I will always be afraid. Have you seen the independent dogs in Vrindavan? They can barely sleep. They have like 2 hours in the daytime that they can sleep because they've been fighting all night. They're exhausted. Just trying to be alert always. But any dog that's with his master, he can sleep the whole night through and sleep the whole day through. He does not have to worry. Automatically maintain. Where will I get my food from? I don't have to run from here to there searching for food. My master will maintain me. All love and affection that I need is provided by my master. I have no need to run here and there looking like a street urchin for any affection, for any food, for any shelter. Already my master is taking care of everything. There's nothing that I need to worry about. So if one has this mood of loyalty, then automatically Shraddha will manifest. This is the definition of Shraddha, that simply by doing Krishna Bhakti, automatically everything else is taken care of. I have nothing to worry about, nothing to do. Just simply through loyalty. And through that Shraddha will come Nishtha. And that Guru Nishtha is the backbone of Bhakti. So how much can we learn from the dog? And Srila Prabhupada said we all must be the servant of someone. We all must be the dog of someone. So why not be the dog of Sri Nityananda Prabhu? That is Sri Guru in our life. Why not be the dog of Guru? Otherwise we'll have to be the dog of any mundane materialist, Kripan Durjana of this world. Wicked, miserly person who is very far away from Bhakti. But if we are like the dog of Guru, the servant of Gurudev, and we are loyal to Guru, then everything will be taken care of. राखी मिल जाना प्रसाद से मिया उच्छिष्ट राखी मिल जाना हमारी गोचर परम
Prabhupada, do you want to read it? It's literally about this mood here, so just...
So Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he wrote or spoke that you can understand what is the relation between big and small. The big is the master and the small is the servant. That's all. If someone is big, big merchant, big factory owner, you go to serve him. So that relation is very clear. That the master, the big is the master and the small is the servant. Therefore, our business is to serve God. We are serving, but we are now serving a dog. We are taking care of a dog, not of God. This is our position. Because we are meant for service, so instead of giving service to God, we are giving service to dog. Therefore, we are unhappy. It's true, it's been reversed, but there is still so much we can learn from a dog. How they are subservient to their master. So thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, for sharing. Want me to keep it here? Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Madhavadete. Radhe, Jai Jai Madhavadete.
Jai
Nitai Gaur Premanande Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Ninatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times at the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, astottara Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. In the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam at the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, astottara Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of those who are with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. So we will continue today going beyond Vaikuntha. I think our chapter is about the extraordinary beauty and qualities of Krishna.
The super excellent of Krishna, something like that.
Yeah, but I can't. I'm going to first offer pranam and then I will enter. So I can't remember the title. So before entering into this heart's manifestation of Sri Sanatan Goswamipada and Srila Gurudev's commentary, we will pray to them both. To Sri Sanatan Goswami in the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairaga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnayat Apayanan Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Vadirya Duka Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Praying at the dust of the lotus feet of our Srila Gurudev, the commentator, and Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, the original recipient and manifester of Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, to make even a particle of their moods, which are present within these pages, manifest within our hearts. Chapter 6. Krishna's glories are inconceivable. I know this is going to be a very exciting chapter. All of the incarnations of Bhagavan are the same in quality. Just as from one candle we can light 10 candles, and all will be the same in quality. Which one is the original, and which ones were lit from that, we can't tell, because they're the same quality. And that's actually paraphrasing a verse from Sri Brahma Samhita, Diparchadeva hidasantaram abhyupetya dipayate vrigita hetu samana dharma yastadrageva hicha vishnutaya vibhati govindam adi purusham tamaham vachami. Just as one candle lights another, lights another, lights another, still all fire is the same. And it's difficult to differentiate which one is the original. So here, Srila Gurudev is now reading a verse from Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita 2.4.164. Etachcha vrinda vipine gahantur. Etachcha vrinda vipine gahantur. Pritvar bhavatsan anubhutamasti. Shri Brahmanadvaravati purecha. Prasada vargeshu maya brahmitva. Narad is saying, when Brahma stole the boys and calves in Vrindavan, he experienced how Sri Krishna, the killer of the Agha demon, is one and yet expands into many. And I myself experienced it when I visited his palaces in Dwarka. So previously we have told that when Sri Narad Muni went to Dwarka, he was moving from palace to palace, and he was able to float or fly through the air. And he was able to witness that Krishna had 16,108 separate palaces, and that in each palace he was individually present with his queens and all of the associates of that particular queen and palace. He was individually present in each one simultaneously. And unlike other persons who have the yogic siddhi of being able to expand themselves, and when one of them coughs and covers his mouth, they all cough and cover their mouth at the same time. It's kind of boring. Krishna doesn't need to do that. Krishna can be doing one thing in one place and a different thing in another place and a different thing in another place, unlimitedly variegated. Unlimitedly variegated. So one place he can be eating, another place he can be taking a foot massage, another place he can be bathing, another place he can be playing with his children, another place he can be in the association of his wife, and another place he can be in the mandir. Although he is one, he is expanded in so many forms, and each form is able to do anything, even separately from any other form. Also, what is mentioned here, that when Brahma stole the calves and the cowherd boys, so what did he see? There's a whole history there. But afterward, he was wondering, how is it possible? Brahma was like scratching his head. How is it possible that Krishna is playing with all of these cowherd boys and calves? I stole them. I put them in a mountain cave. How is it possible? And then after a lot of leelas took place, which we will go into at a later time, Krishna showed Brahma that actually these are all my manifestations. They were perfect duplicates of all of those calves and cowherd boys. Perfect duplicates. And when Brahma saw Krishna had manifested millions of Vishnu forms, every calf he saw was a Vishnu form. Every cowherd boy was a Vishnu form. Millions and millions. Brahma was completely astonished. And then he began to offer so many prayers. This is what is shocking to even the greatest personalities. We chant in this prayer, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande by Srila Rupa Goswami. Yadyapi samadhishu vidhirapi pashyati natava nakagramarichim. That even Lord Brahma, in complete samadhi, yadyapi, samadhishu, in complete samadhi, Lord Brahma cannot even capture the effulgence emanating from the toenails of Krishna. But still Rupa Goswami is praying, let the impossible be made possible because this is your quality. Let the bumblebee of my mind always go to your feet, which are like reddish lotus flowers. Because you have the power to make the impossible possible. Even though I don't have any bhakti for you whatsoever, not even one sesame seed, not tvayi mamatila matri. Still, you could make this impossible thing possible. But Rupa Goswami is praying from such a place of humility. So Brahma is seeing this. Even the greatest of sages, they're completely astounded seeing Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. They see him as Purnam Brahma Sanatana, the supreme absolute truth, the source of everything. How is it possible? And they see this little boy is there and everything is saying he's the Purna Brahma Sanatana. And he's playing like an ordinary child in the courtyard of Nanda Baba. They're completely astonished. Aho bhagyam, nanda gopa prajokasam, yam mitram paramanandam, purna brahma sanatana. How is it possible that the supreme Paramanandam, Purnam, Brahma Sanatana, absolute truth, the source of all transcendental bliss, who is the friend of the entire universe, how is it possible that this personality is playing like an ordinary child in the courtyard of Nanda Baba? How fortunate. Aho bhagya means how fortunate. But they're completely astonished, flabbergasted. Lord Brahma is seeing that each of these cowherd boys and each of these calves, they have manifested as Vishnu forms. And each one of these Vishnu forms is doing something separate. And Brahma is completely astonished to see this. Then he begins to offer so many prayers, among which some of them are very, very prominent verses of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Prachar. Like Tate Nukam Pam Sisamikshamanam Nomityate. How Brahma is glorifying Krishna. So many beautiful prayers are there. So here in Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad is saying that just as I myself saw so many different manifestations of Krishna, although they are one, still they're doing their own individual separate things. Like fire. You see so many different fires, but one fire might be doing one thing and another fire is doing a different thing. You can have a stove with 4 burners and each burner is cooking something different. Although fire is fire, but still it's functioning differently. So he's seeing, and Brahma is seeing all of these different forms as well. In Vrindavan, the mothers and fathers of the gopis and gopas, upon seeing the beauty and sweetness of Krishna, his speech, his behavior, all of his charming sweetness, the desire comes in them that he be their son. So because Krishna is Krishna, and he is all attractive, naturally all of the Brajavasis love Krishna more than anyone else. And this is the qualification for being a Brajavasi. That Krishna is the center of everyone's activities, including Srimati Radhika, all of the gopis, all of the cowherd boys, all of the parental figures, all of the cows and calves, even the trees, Yamuna River, Govardhan, every particle of dust. Their center is Krishna. And he is supremely attractive, all attractive. That's why his name is Krishna. This name Krishna comes from this term akarshan, which means to attract. He's so attractive that everything reverses its nature. Stones which are normally hard begin to melt. You can go in so many places in Vrindavan where Krishna performed his pastimes. As he would play his flute, the stones would melt. And not only Krishna's footprints would be made in those stones, even the footprints of the calves and the cowherd boys. Even one place in Sheshai, there's elephant footprints, camel's footprints, because the stone would melt by the effect of Krishna's flute song, which is really a manifestation of his own heart. The most chaste women in the entire universe, they give up their chastity, their lajja, their everything, their society, and run to Krishna in the middle of the night. Calves are drinking the milk from their mother's udders, and as they hear the sound of Krishna's flute, their ears open up like cups and they begin to drink through their ears, and they forget to drink through their mouth, their mother's milk. And the milk is just pouring out. They're completely mesmerized. Everything reverses its nature. Jamuna River, which is normally flowing that way, stops and reverses course and comes toward Krishna very shyly and offers her lotus flowers at his feet, which are representing her own heart. Gurudev said she is liquid prem. Liquid prem. Sorry, liquid bhav? Yes. Liquid bhav. So Jamuna is also reversing her nature. Normally she would flow toward the ocean, but here she begins to flow toward Krishna's lotus feet and offering her heart in the form of so many lotus flowers at his feet. Everything's nature begins to reverse. And we see here that the parents, they're desiring, they love Krishna even more than their own children. This is the nature of Krishna. He's so attractive. So attractive. We have heard that Srimati Radhika would never dance or would never go with Sri Ram. But I don't know about Sita. I cannot say that because Krishna has this supremely attractive quality. Even Lakshmi Devi is desperate to enter into Krishna's Leela. We've told this a few times, that she's doing austerity to enter into his Rasa Leela. Although she is the eternal consort of Srimad Narayan, still she is desperate to enter into this Rasa Leela pastime with Krishna. She sees my Narayan never plays a flute. He's never doing this beautiful dancing, Natavaranagarananda. I've never seen him dance like this. I've never seen him behave like this, so sweetly. I also want to enter this pastime in every other form I go with him, but I want to be here as well. How attractive is Krishna? Even we told about Mahavishnu the other day. How attractive is Krishna that Mahavishnu, he arranges a pastime so that he can see Krishna, so that he can have the darshan of Krishna. I have taken the boys, the 10 sons of this Brahmin, just so that I can see you. How attractive is Krishna? How beautiful. Like Srila Gurudev said, if you could collect all of the beauty in the entire universe into one point, everything that is beautiful, anything that you can conceive of that is beautiful, into one point, that would not equal even one particle of dust on the feet of Krishna. How beautiful is Krishna. And beauty, his Shri, is said to be his prime, his main quality, from which all of his other qualities manifest. So his Shri is his main beautiful, or main quality, his beauty. How attractive is his beauty. Today, as Sudevi was singing Bande Vishvambara Padakamalam, there it's also speaking about this form of Krishna as Sachinandan Gaurahari. Where is that? I just have to read it to you because it was so beautiful when I read the translation as we were singing it. And I don't want to get it wrong. Vande Vishvambhara Padakam 339. With his effulgence, he destroys the darkness of Maya's illusion, which has covered the hearts of the living entities since time immemorial. He is forever resplendent with incomparable beauty. He attracts his honeybee-like followers with his sweet fragrance, mercifully removing their anguish of separation from him. How beautiful is this magnanimous form of Krishna as Sachinandan Gaurahari, tasting Radha's bhavs for moods of love and affection. So here, Gurudev is saying that the parents of Braj, they were feeling, the mothers and fathers of the gopis and gopas, upon seeing the beauty and sweetness of Krishna, the desire came in their hearts that he would be their son. They were always running, desiring to love Krishna. They loved him more, and they always desired that, oh, if Krishna would be our son. So they would give Krishna even more affection than their own family members. The cows wouldn't even give milk unless Krishna was nearby, not even to their babies. But if Krishna was nearby, then their motherly affection would flow in the form of milk. We spoke about this yesterday. When Krishna was nearby, automatically they would begin to pour milk. How did Rupa Goswami find Govindaji? He was instructed to find Govindaji, but he could not find him anywhere. And one little boy came and told him, hey, you know, I've noticed there on the hill, Gomatila, there's one cow that goes there every day and spontaneously just pours milk on this hill. Maybe you should check there. Rupa Goswami arranged for some to dig in that place where the cow was spontaneously pouring milk. Sure enough, they found the beautiful form of Govindaji. And this same Govindaji is now being worshipped in Jaipur as Radha Govindadev. But how did he find him? This cow was spontaneously pouring milk. So in the same way, whenever Krishna was present, then the cows would give milk. They also had desire to have Krishna as their own children. Because of Vatsalya Prem, they wanted to also have Krishna as their sons. So all of the elderly gopis and gopis, oh, we desire to have Krishna as our son. The cows also, we want to have Krishna as our child. And so what did Krishna do? He fulfilled all of their desires through this pastime with Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma stole all of the calves and all of the cowherd boys. Krishna himself manifested himself as all of the duplicate calves and cowherd boys. And those parents and those cows were giving equal love to them as they were to Krishna. Balaram noticed something strange. Hey, before they were giving more love to Krishna. Now they're giving equal love. What's going on? He noticed it, but he couldn't quite understand it. Because Krishna's own Yogamaya potency is so powerful that even it can bewilder Baladev Prabhu. This is Yogamaya, his transcendental internal potency. So at the time when the cows are giving milk to their calves, they think, sometimes Krishna comes and drinks our milk with his own mouth. We know that Nanda Baba would squirt the milk into the mouths of Krishna and Balaram, but also Krishna and Balaram would take that milk themselves. We desire that he be our calf so we can feed him milk. In Brajmandal there are so many cows, mothers, and mothers who already have sons, and they all desire that Krishna become their son so that they can feed him milk and show him motherly affection. This is proof that Krishna is the center of all one's activities in Vrindavan. Therefore, Vrindavan is always harmonious. Even if it appears that there are different groups, like the gopis. They have Svapaksha and Vipaksha. Srimati Radhika's own group and then the opposite groups. But still, it is all for Krishna. Therefore, it is harmonious because he is in the center. So all of that is only to increase his transcendental pleasure, whether they realize it or not, because they have pure love for him. Without all of these different groups and so many different kinds of transcendental associates and consorts, Bahu Kanta Vinanahe Raser Ulas. Rasa, or the taste, the transcendental pleasure that Krishna experiences, cannot reach its highest peak. So Srimati Radhika manifests everything so that Krishna can experience more and more transcendental pleasure. That is the function of Hladini Shakti, his transcendental pleasure potency. And Srimati Radhika is the Adhishtatri Devata, or the predominating deity of this potency. Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada have both asserted that Mother Yashoda is the embodiment of Srimati Radhika's Vatsalya Prem, means parental love for Krishna. Interesting, isn't it? It's there in Srila Prabhupada's purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, before he departed from our vision and entered into Nitya Lila, or entered into Samadhi. Those purports are there, and Srila Prabhupada is also mentioning this. Our Gurudev told it. I heard him directly say it when we were in Fiji in Kantipunja Prabhu's house. Gurudev said that Mother Yashoda is the embodiment of Srimati Radhika's Vatsalya Prem for Krishna. So we should understand that all of these personalities are manifestations from the original Shakti, Radha Purna Shakti. She is the complete Shakti, and from her, all other Shaktis manifest. Means all other forms for giving pleasure and happiness to Krishna. Everything is from him and everything is for him. So here, all of these parents are feeling, and all of these cows are feeling, that if Krishna was our child, then we could love him, we could give him milk and so much motherly affection. Not so much when Krishna enters their houses, steals milk, and drinks it, but in the late afternoon, when Krishna returns from taking the cows out to graze. At that time, Mother Yashoda gives him motherly affection and wipes his face And all the mothers and cows desire very strongly in their hearts that Krishna be their son. So Krishna has been out all day with the calves and the cows. Sometimes he would steal butter and do this here and there, but they also want that he will be with them, that he will reciprocate with them, that they can express full parental affection without just this stealing thing, but full parental affection. They desire this within their hearts. That Krishna be their son. Leaving their own children, all the mothers come first to look after Krishna. Then they return to their own children, take them in their laps, wipe their faces, and give them all affection. So their hearts are always melting for Krishna. This is a speciality of Krishna. Everyone has so much more love for Krishna. So Gurudev here is establishing this point. How when Krishna comes home after grazing the cows, he's dusty, and Mother Yashoda sees him. Sudevi, can you tell what Gurudev told you? It's okay. Please? No. Alright, we'll tell it another time. Krishna knows their desire. How does he know their desire? It says in one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam that when Krishna is playing with the gopis and is fully absorbed in performing pastimes, he forgets everything. Where am I? Any loss or gain for himself in this activity, any loss or gain for the world, all of this is forgotten. At that time, at this time, if some enemy attacks, what will happen? One time Srila Gurudev asked the question. Actually, someone asked Gurudev the question. This was in June of the year 2000 in Alachua, Florida, USA. Who is more Sarvagya, all-knowing, Guru or Krishna? And Gurudev laughed. And he said, Krishna is too busy playing with the Brajabasis, with his mother and father, with his cows, with his gopis, with his gopas, to think about anything that is going on in this world. Krishna is too busy. Maybe Narayan, maybe Vishnu will think about these things. But Krishna, he is too absorbed in his pastimes. He said, because Guru is the manifestation of Paramatma in the heart, who is the supreme witness of everything. Tang sarva bhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. I see that my Gurudev is situated within the heart of every living entity and has not only witnessed this lifetime, but has been with us since time immemorial, forever. Seeing every lifetime, Gurudev established that in this case we should understand that Guru is more Sarvagya than Krishna in Vrindavan. More all-knowing, because it is his function to know. It is his function to see what we have done, where we're at, and how to bring us to our perfection. Where Krishna is fully absorbed in playing with the Brajabasis, so much so that he is experiencing what is known as Mugdata, transcendental forgetfulness. He himself forgets that I am God. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam rijantam. Mother Yashoda is chasing him with a stick. And although death personified is afraid of him, he's running in fear from the stick of his mother. Real fear takes over his heart. And he's running in fear as she's chasing him with the stick. And when she finally catches him, he becomes so afraid, he begins panic, crying. And from both eyes, tears are flowing. And she feels so bad, she puts her stick down because she doesn't want him to feel so much more fear. And then he's crying and rubbing his eyes with his two lotus hands like this. And instead his kajal is smearing everywhere, and Ganga and Jamuna are just flowing from both eyes, and he has black streaks coming down his face. How beautiful he looks at this time. So he forgets, I am God. He forgets everything. My mother's chasing me with a stick. His heart is battered like this. So he forgets everything. When he is fully absorbed in performing his pastimes, he forgets where he is. He forgets any loss or gain for himself in this activity, any loss or gain in this world. All of this is forgotten. So this is known as mukdhata. It's a kind of transcendental forgetfulness. And also we can understand that sometimes this also takes place in the pure devotee. They manifest this kind of symptom. Being so absorbed in Krishna. It's not like, and I will re-quote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita again, about the Uttam Bhagavats. They don't exactly see the material world and the workings of this material world. Rather, they see the presence of their Ishtadev in everything. Means their worshipful Lord. So, Sri Guru might be speaking one thing, and we think, how can Guru speak this thing? But if we understand that they are constantly absorbed in remembering Krishna and His pastimes, and we're trying to bring some mundane, foolish, mundane problem, material issue to their attention. And then we're like, how can they not remember that? How can they not remember my name? Perhaps they are completely absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna. And what we think is so important is not really as important as we think it is. There is a great possibility of that. It's our ego. Even myself, so much information comes, and sometimes certain people are like, you don't remember that? You don't remember that thing? And I'm like, what thing? You know what happened a year ago at this one location? The name of our taxi driver. 2 years ago, or 1 year ago. Why should I remember the name of our taxi driver? It's just not important. It's something that I've filed away in the trash bin, and it auto-empties every 30 days. I don't even need to think about it. And then it's brought up again. It's like, oh, okay. Somebody hit the undelete button. But that thing is not important to think about. What is important to think about? The transcendental pastimes of Krishna. Service to Sri Guru, service to the Vaisnava, service to Mahaprabhu, our Guru Varga. This is important. But so many other things are actually just an artificial imposition on the mind, and they won't help us if we remember that at the time of death. I really hope I'm not remembering the name of my taxi driver. I hope I might be remembering the pastimes of Krishna. So, Sri Guru also is manifesting this mukdhata sometimes. What appears to be forgetfulness. Does he not know my name? Doesn't he remember this big thing that I've been going through? How can he not know? Did he not know? Well, he's absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna. And then when he speaks, sometimes it sounds like it might be mundane. But Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, we just celebrated his day the other day. He said, I would much rather hear even the Gramya Katha of the Brajabasis than the big greatest prayers of the Vedas. How the Brajabasis are speaking, why they have spontaneous love and affection for Krishna. Natural. Also we hear that with Sanatan Goswami, as he would discuss with different Brajabasis, he would go from place to place and he would be speaking with them. How are you? How is your family? When are you getting married? You know, how are things? It appears to be mundane talk. But how is he thinking? So we need to also perspectivize the transcendental conception. We spoke about this yesterday regarding the view of milk. We can look at it from a mundane perspective, or we can look at it from a higher perspective, transcendental perspective. So we look at these personalities from a mundane perspective. We can look at Krishna like that also, from a mundane perspective. If we look at him from a mundane perspective, he seems like an ordinary child playing in the dirt, getting into trouble, stealing butter, pinching babies and making them cry. If we don't understand his transcendental nature, that he is actually the Supreme Lord of everything, if we don't understand that initially, then we might make the mistake of just mundanizing him. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam first takes us through the first 9 cantos establishing His absolute supremacy, and then brings us to the point of entering into Brajalila, where one day we will have to forget all of that. When our heart is qualified, when it is saturated with prem, then we will be able to see Krishna as He is. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santak sadaiva hridayeshi vilokayanti yam shyam sundaram achintyam gunasvarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. When one's eyes are smeared with the salve of love, Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, transcendental praying, bhakti. From this point, then we will be able to see and understand Krishna as He is. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaja explained something quite interesting, and I had never conceived of it before. Because so often devotees say, if Krishna is really so beautiful and so attractive, then why doesn't He just appear in front of me, and then I will fall in love with Him, and then it's all done? Why do I need to go through all of this hard sadhana? And oh my God, why do I need to do all of that? Or we just presume that we love Krishna because we find Him attractive. Oh, did you see His painting? Did you see His deity form? Or His pastimes? He's so attractive. Yes. But Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj explained that Krishna reserves the right to be seen and can only be known by love and affection. As he tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya aham eve vidorjuna gyatum drashtum chatatvena praveshtum chaparandapa. O Arjuna, you can only know me as I am in truth through the medium of undivided, one-pointed, unalloyed love and affection. Ananya bhakti, or as our Srila Gurudev would say, one-pointed bhakti, or pure bhakti, and Srila Prabhupada would say unalloyed devotional service. It means unmixed, it means pure bhakti. Only by this process. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Tirika Maharaj said, if Krishna even stood in front of you, you might not recognize Him because you have not awakened your love for Him. Because He can only be known through that medium. That really surprised me. Because I always thought before, well, why doesn't He just stand in front of me? Then I'll fall in love automatically. But He is not so cheap. He's not so easily had. First we need to develop this mood of dedication. That's why Sri Guru comes and teaches us how to serve. How to become one-pointed and exclusive and selfless. How to become loyal. First of all, applying all of these principles at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. Applying these principles at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Anukulyasya sankalpa, all the symptoms of sharanagati. Pratikulyasya vajanam rakshishyati vishvasa guptitve varanam tata atmanekshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. Applying these principles at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. This bhajan that we sang earlier, that you are my master and I am like your dog. Sarvasva tomar charani sapya parechi tomar ghare timito takur tomar kukur boliya jano hamare. Applying this mood wholly and totally at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. First and foremost, then He will take our hearts, He will take our Atma, and He will make it qualified to be able to serve Radha and Krishna within the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. So it is imperative to take shelter of that divine personality, the devotee of the devotee of the devotee of Krishna. Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Das Das Anudas. It is essential to follow that process. Mahaprabhu himself has given this as an example. That what is my identity? I am not a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha or Sannyas. My only identity is that I am an eternal servant of the servant of Krishna, the beloved of the gopis.
Did you see this Krishna Mai?
No, I didn't. It hasn't moved down. Oh my God, a lot of things. Okay.
Still, my dear Kishori Mohan, what can we do when non-devotees don't understand why we are not taking meat, but we are taking milk, what is also a product of suffering? They say that if we don't take meat, we should also not take milk product. So they don't believe in karma, so it's not possible to speak about offering and Krishna helping. What can we do in these cases to encourage their
Veganism.
veganism?
Can I speak about that subject a little later? Because it's not exactly
Related.
in the flow
So
of
maybe
this.
we can speak. I just wanted to let you know that there was a question. So. It was a while ago. Yeah, they're doing the whole tax
David
thing.
is funny.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Unless your taxi driver's name is Krishna Govinda Madhava. Yes, why not? Our taxi driver's name was Sanjay.
So anyway, tomorrow maybe we can
Yes.
discuss it.
We will discuss it tomorrow.
Because you brought it up.
Okay. So, I will answer that to the best of my ability. I know it was dealt with extensively yesterday, but still it might need a little bit more. So we might address it in the beginning, but right now there's a beautiful flow of Krishna's pastimes. So I wanted to continue with this flow, and then tomorrow we will flow with the milk. So here we're talking about Krishna becoming so absorbed. How will we develop a mood to meet this kind of Krishna? Only when love awakens in the heart. And how will that love awaken in our heart? By the Hari Katha spoken from the lips of that pure devotee whose relationship with Krishna is fully awakened, who's permanently and firmly bound to the lotus feet of Krishna. Through their Hari Katha, this will inspire or awaken an attraction or a desire to serve Krishna within our heart. That is called Krishna Seva Vasanam, the tendency or the nature of wanting, the desire to serve Krishna. This will manifest in the heart by that association. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam says, Dharma Svanishtita Pungsang Vishvakshena Katasuya Notpaded Yadidatim Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. All of the activities that one performs, if they do not increase our attraction for hearing the glories of Krishna from the lips of his pure devotee, Vishvakshena Katha, this is Krishna Katha. If it doesn't bring about that effect, then all of the activities that one performs are compared to hard, useless labor. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, right in the beginning. Notpadiyat yadidatim. If it doesn't bring about rati, an attraction for hearing that Harikatha, then shrama eva hi kevalam. It is only so much hard, useless labor. So if we know that, then somehow we should be praying for that in every activity of bhakti that we do in our lives. Why do I not have attraction for Harikatha? There's something not right in my practice. Then we can cry and pray to Guru and Vaisnavas. Oh Gurudev, oh Vaisnavas, please help me. I'm doing so many activities externally on the platform of bhakti, or in the name of bhakti, in the name of devotion, but somehow it is not bringing about an attraction for hearing the glories of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. What is wrong with my practice? Please help me. This mood should come, a mood of supplication and humility. Sometimes people will go like, oh my God, it's hopeless. I've been doing this for 40 years. Have we been doing it? That's the question. Or have we just kind of been on the sidelines, touching the water with our toes, just sitting on the edge, kind of like tapping it? Have we actually entered into the process? This is something we should question ourselves. Am I really entering in, or just kind of staying on the sidelines and saying that I entered in? So many times people would say, when I was saved, or my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Gurudev asked them, have your eyes been opened? Or are you still bound in this material world and fully attracted to the things of this material world? devotees would kind of go like, oh my God. He said, then you shouldn't say that your eyes have been opened if they're not open. You're still blind. So then you should make it your own prayer. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Instead of saying, my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, then we're in a state of pretense, because my eyes are still closed and I'm still bound and attracted to this material world instead of Harikatha, instead of Krishna. Then we should pray, like Bhaktivedanta Thakur prays, Kabe habe bolo siddhinayama. When will that day manifest in my life? When my eyes will be opened by the mercy of my Gurudev? When will that day come? When I will develop taste for Harinam, and when my anarthas, when my aparads will be removed. When will that day come? This prayerful mood should be there. Not that my eyes are open and now I'm saved. If we think that our eyes are open and we're saved, and they have not been open and we're not saved, then what will be the result? Then we'll think, oh, I'm already there. Then I don't need any more. I don't need sadhu sangha. I got initiated 30 years ago, 20 years ago, so I'm done. But if we look at ourselves, if we test our pulses, as our Gurudev would say, we can see, oh, I'm just a baby. I'm just so small and so fragile. I need so much help. I need so much nourishment. How much attention do I give to Krishna versus how much attention I give to my family, my friends, my every material thing of this world? How much time, how much energy, how much money, how much priority? And then we can see where we are. And then we can really pray, oh my God, I need help. Gurudev, on my own I have no strength. I am bound by Maya. I cannot pull myself out of Maya by my own power. Oh Vaisnava Thakur, please be merciful to me. Help me. Look at my situation. I'm willingly allowing myself to be plundered by all of these urges. Vacho Vegam, the urge of speaking all kinds of nonsense, the urges of the mind and anger and tongue and belly and genitals and lust, anger, greed, madness, envy and pride. I've just allowed myself to be completely taken over by all of this envy. And look at my situation. Oh my God, Gurudev, Vaishnavas, my Guru Varga, help me. I'm being attacked. Then we can cry out, we can call out. But if we're pretending that we're already saved and that our eyes are open and that and how will we cry out for help? So the more one increases in their Vaishnavata, they will actually have more humility and feel more desperate for help. And they will cry out more intensely for that help. Yes, that mood only deepens as one progresses on the path of bhakti. I mean, you should hear how our Gurudev would say about himself. How high is our Gurudev? But he would say, oh, I came from the place of Jarasandha. I was a first-class bogus person, he would say, and my Gurudev mercifully pulled me out by my hair and gave me his shelter. And his Guru is saying the same thing. And his Guru is saying the same thing. And the more deep any Vaishnava becomes, the more they feel themselves lowly and fallen. And the highest epitome of this humility is found in none other than the greatest, highest devotee of Krishna, that is Srimati Radhika. She feels bereft, and that's why her seva endeavor is the highest or the most extreme, always trying to better serve and better please Krishna. And we should start with the mood of always trying to better and more in better quality and with more intense endeavor to better serve Gurudev. We'll talk about carrots another day. Krishna knows the desire of all of the Brajabasis. He knows the desire of all of the parents of Vrindavan. How they love him and how they want to love him like they're able to love their own children. How those cows want to love him like they're loving their own babies. They also want to give him milk. Those parents, all of them, they want to love, they want to kiss the heads and smell the heads of their young children, their young sons, and give him so much affection. They want to love Krishna like Mother Yashoda loves Krishna. They have this desire, and Krishna knows their desire. How does he know? So, we will come to how he knows. He's so absorbed in performing his pastimes. If any demon attacks, what will happen? A demon like Agasur or Bakasur may come, but everything will be forgotten. All household duties, eating, drinking, bathing, all is forgotten. He is so absorbed in relishing the prema of the gopis that all is forgotten, and he is aware of nothing else. The affection of his mothers, the affection of his friends, all is forgotten. So Srila Gurudev is explaining, actually he's referencing Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that regarding that time, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur asks a question. Your devotees are praying, "O Krishna Chandra, give me darshan of your lotus feet." And you are crying and crying. But who will hear this prayer? Krishna has already forgotten everything. When he has forgotten everything, then sarvagyata, his quality of knowing what is in everyone's heart is diminished. Just yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, I quoted that verse from Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishto. I am seated within the heart of everyone. And everything can be known by me. So he knows everything, and he also allows anything to be known by himself, or from himself. However, when Krishna is fully absorbed in his pastimes in Vrindavan, completely absorbed in his relationship with his parent figures, or with his friends, or with his gopis, so absorbed that he forgets everything else, then who is hearing that prayer? Krishna has already forgotten everything. That quality of knowing what is in everyone's heart is diminished. Gurudev says that is an aspect of Aishwarya, one of his opulences. At that time when he is supremely absorbed, sometimes falling at the feet of the gopis, trying to appease them, serving them and receiving service from them, he is so absorbed in this that he forgets all other things of the world. All sarvagyata, all knowledge of everything of this world, and what everyone is praying and everything, all of that is forgotten. All of it has been abandoned. And all 6 kinds of opulence have been forgotten. Then who will hear your prayer? What are the 6 kinds of opulence? Aishwaryasya, samagrasya, viryasya, yashashashriya, jnana, vairagya. I can't remember the rest at the moment. I will remember it later. But all wealth, all strength, all beauty, all fame, all knowledge, all renunciation, all of this, he forgets all of it. His strength, his power, his wealth, his fame, even his own beauty. He forgets everything. This is amazing. All of his all-knowingness, he even forgets about that. As he's begging in the dust of the feet of Srimati Radhika, Smaragalakandanam mamashira shimandanam dehi padapalavamudaram. Please be merciful to me and give me just a particle of dust from your lotus feet upon my head. Place your lotus feet upon my head. Krishna is begging. This is amazing. And he forgets everything else. So who will hear your prayer? So Gurudev is saying that knowing everything is a quality of Aishwarya, awe and reverence, majesty, opulence. So if it comes at this time, if the mood of knowing everything comes at this time, at the time of him falling at the feet of the gopis, then what will happen as a result? Rasabhas. The mood of madhurya will be disturbed. Does that make sense? If Krishna is in this mood of supplication, imagine, if Mother Yashoda is chasing him with a stick and he just turns around and shows his Nrsimhadev form to her. That whole pastime would be disturbed. Completely. She would just stop in fear, fall at his feet, in fear. Srila Gurudev said that why do we not bring Nrsimhadev into Radha and Krishna's Leela in Nishanta Leela time? You can find it in Gurudev's folio. Gurudev speaks about this. He said because Radha and Krishna will become afraid. Nrsimhadev's here. Like this. They've completely forgotten anything. Krishna is not thinking at that time, I am Purna Shaktiman, I am the supreme source of all Shakti. And Radhika is not thinking, I am Purna Shakti. They're completely absorbed in their Leela, in their pastimes. And to introduce Nrsimhadev into that creates Rasabhas. Means an incompatible situation that no pure devotee will appreciate. Srila Prabhupada writes this. That to say Rukmini Raman, we worship Radha Raman. But to say Rukmini Raman, this creates a disturbance in the hearts of the pure devotees. Because it is a rasabhas. It is an incompatible relationship. Replacing peacock feathers on the head of Dwarkadish. This disturbs Krishna. Dwarkadish could not tolerate such a thing. We will see how he is weeping just upon seeing Gopakumar. It creates it shakes his heart. So rasabhas, no pure devotee likes this. And in fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would make sure that Swarup Damodar Goswami would check very carefully any drama that would be performed before he would see it. Because he did not like to see anything that was even slightly out of place. It would create a great disturbance to him.
Also with Gurudev, they would give Madhav Maharaj the dramas first, and then he would say yes or no.
So in this connection?
And Smadagarla Kandanam.
Yes. In this connection, also, before Gurudev would watch any dramas, they would also show it to Madhav Maharaj first. But before that happened, there were a couple instances. One, there was the Beggar of Prem drama. Beggar of Prem, this is from Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj's book or classes. From the Embankment of Separation. And Srila Gurudev loved it so much. So in the drama they were performing for Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It was one of those 50% left messages. I thought I had turned that off. Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. I just disappeared and then I reappeared.
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
It's good.
So somehow you have 50% left of your allowance and it shuts off the video. Forgive me. So we just got a couple minutes here. What was I saying just before?
Embankment of Separation.
Embankment of Separation. So this drama was being performed for our Gurudev. And at the end, you see Krishna praying to Srimati Radhika in the drama. Smaragala Kandanam Mamashira Shimandanam Dehi Padapalavamudaram. Oh Srimati Radhika, please be merciful to me. Please place your lotus feet upon my head. And then Krishna offers pranam at Srimati Radhika's feet in the drama, and she places her feet on his head. And Srila Gurudev afterward, he said, it was a very nice drama. But one thing you should know, and this is why it is so imperative that we are under the shelter of a Rasik, Bhavuk, Tattvagya, spiritual master. So that they can refine these points for us. Otherwise, we can be hopelessly mistaken. What did he say? He said, Krishna may ask for this thing, but Srimati Radhika will never willingly do this. Krishna may put his head to her feet, but she will never put her feet to his head. Such a small refinement, but such a big, big, big conception. she will never place her feet on his head. He may place his head there or ask for it, but she will never willingly do that to him, because her mood is so deep with love and affection for Krishna. So this was something that Gurudev taught us in this. Some slight adjustment, but it was so important. And then, I'll give you an example of rasabhas. So we were once at a drama. It was myself, Sudevi, and Subi. And it was around Rath Yatra time in Los Angeles. And this drama was a very nice drama, the kidnapping of Rukmini. And so we were watching it. It was quite, it was done very well. And everyone was there. So many sannyasis, so many personalities. And it was quite interesting. But something happened. At one point, someone came, was it Balaram, came to Krishna, and Krishna was sleeping. And at that point, when Krishna was sleeping in Dwarka, Balaram taps him with his club and says to Krishna, "Are you thinking about that girl in Vrindavan again?" Meaning Srimati Radhika. And Krishna's like, no, no, no. This one is so much more This one is different, he said. This was in the drama. This one is different. This one I want to marry. And at that point, we became completely, because we had come to Gurudev, we understood the supremacy of Srimati Radhika, that all others are her manifestation. This was heartbreaking for us, and we could no longer remain in that place. Also, once there was a drama done for Gurudev in Holland, and I think I've told this before. There was a drama done for Gurudev, where Gurudev was sitting there watching, and he was like, what's going on? And there was a bunch of little boys and girls dressed up in saffron and everything else.
It wasn't the Holland devotees.
It was the devotees from France, but this drama was performed in Holland. And there was one little boy dressed up with a nice big turban and a fake beard. And Gurudev said, "Who's that?" And they said, "Oh, that's you, Gurudev." And Gurudev was laughing. He thought it was cute and it was sweet. And then at one point, you see the Guru, it's supposed to be Gurudev, and Gurudev is watching it, and the devotees are translating to him. Gurudev gives an instruction, and all of them jump up, start screaming and waving their hands, and they run out screaming. And Gurudev's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then the devotee told Gurudev, "Oh, well, Gurudev just told them that they should chant their japa." And Gurudev's like,
16 rounds.
For 16 rounds a day. And Gurudev's like, "But I don't understand." And one devotee said, "You don't know. They're French. They don't like to chant their japa." This is what they said. And Gurudev was really, his heart was practically broken. "But I don't understand. Why would anyone not like to chant their japa? I don't understand." It was really, his heart was like saddened by that. Why would someone not like to chant their japa? So then he was looking at Maharaja, "Make sure that you qualify any drama before it comes before me." Mahaprabhu also had this principle. Because no pure or transcendental personality likes to see any kind of rasabhas. So in this case, Gurudev is saying, knowing everything is a quality of Aishvarya, and if that Aishvarya mood comes at that time when Krishna is petitioning the gopis, especially Srimati Radhika for her lotus foot dust, the mood of madhurya, or this sweetness, will be disturbed. So who will come to hear our prayer at this time? This is a big problem. We are praying, and that is meaningless? This is a question that should naturally come in our hearts at this time. Well, if Krishna is there and we're praying, is our prayer meaningless? If there is no listener, certainly it will be meaningless. However, Gurudev gives us hope. Paramatma is Krishna's expansion. He exists everywhere as the all-pervading witness. Will he know? But if we are praying directly to Govinda and only Paramatma is aware of it, what is the use? We are praying to the king and the doorman is listening? What will be the benefit in that? We won't be satisfied with that. So what then? Will our prayer not go directly to Krishna? If our prayer doesn't reach Krishna's ears, then it is as if we are crying and no one can hear. Gurudev had this same conversation in the Damodarashtakam book, but this was the mood of the gopis. They were expressing this. If you read this book, Damodarashtakam, there, it's also, this mood is being discussed. And I believe it was Uddhav telling the gopis about their, oh, you should be satisfied that Krishna is in your heart. And they're like, what? How can we be satisfied when we have had direct, unimpeded darshan of Krishna with our very own eyes? And you want us to be satisfied like any yogi? The Gurudev was discussing this point. So here, it's like he's manifesting this mood again. So what then? Will our prayer not go directly to Krishna? If our prayer doesn't reach his ears, then it is as if we are crying and no one can hear. And if no one hears, then who will do something to relieve that crying? If a small baby is crying for milk and no one hears him, what will he do?
He will scream. No?
Our crying will merely be the same. But don't worry. Don't be disturbed. Krishna will hear. We may think, but how? I can't leave it with this. We need the hope. But how? If he listens, it will be Aishwarya. To resolve this, Krishna possesses two qualities. He is simultaneously Mugdha and Sarvagya. So at the same time, he is experiencing Mugdata, means not knowing and completely absorbed in his pastimes. And another aspect of him is all-knowing, simultaneous.
Blade of grass.
What is the meaning of Mugdha? Becoming so spellbound in love that it is just as if he doesn't know anything. Yashoda grabs his ear and says, you go to the corner and continuously sit down and stand again. Don't you steal anymore. In India, you may have seen this with the coronavirus thing on the news. When people were outside when they weren't supposed to be, the police came with their sticks and then they made them do austerity, some penance. And what was that? They had to hold their ears and stand up and sit down. Up and down, up and down. Teachers used to do that back in the day in America as well, before the right was taken away from any parent or teacher to give any discipline to any child. But in India, it's still acceptable, instantaneous discipline.
Even to adults.
Not only to children, but to adults. If they do something wrong, the police officer will give them that discipline. So Mother Yashoda is telling Krishna, you should stand up and sit down in the corner again and again, because you don't steal anymore. And he will really do it. So this is a pastime of Krishna we've never heard before. Mother Yashoda grabs his ear, sends him into the corner, makes him stand up and sit down and calls him a thief, and he will actually do it. So, we are left in a cliffhanger here. One thing I will add. In the prayer Sharanagati, what is it? Kabe Shri Chaitanya More? Kori Bena Dore. No? Saranga Sharanagati Hoibe Jahar Tahar Prarthana Shune Shri Nanda Kumar. For one who follows this sixfold path of Sharanagati, the path of surrender to Krishna, this process, these 6 symptoms. Sadanga Sharanagati. This represents 6. Hoibe Jahar Tahar Prarthana Shune Shri Nanda Kumar. Your prayers will be heard directly by Nanda Kumar Shri Krishna. So Gurudev already said that both happen simultaneously. So there's one aspect of him that is completely Mugdata. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't see anything. Completely absorbed in those pastimes. And another aspect of him that is still Sarvagya. All-knowing, all-understanding. And that aspect, that Sarvagya aspect, will hear the prayer of any sincere devotee who is endeavoring on the path of surrender. So this should be a cause of hope for us. His mercy potency will hear, and that mercy potency will descend and stand in front of us in the form of Krishna Kripa, Shri Murti, Shri Guru, and Sadhu Guru Vaisnavas. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupananda Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Bol. So we will continue tomorrow.
Don't forget to stay for darshan of Thakurji. Subhadra offered a new outfit today. She made by hand.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, गिरिराज महाराज की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि Thank you very much for being with us today. Sorry I wasn't able to answer all of your questions. Perhaps tomorrow we will start with that, with the questions, but the subject matter was just so sweet and beautiful about Krishna and Vrindavan that I didn't want to bring Rasabas into it. So we look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Thank you again for engaging us, remembering the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, and for engaging us in our lifelong seva as ordered by our Gurudev. We will see you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe. Radha Radhe. Jai 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 Shri Radhe.